welcome back. My name is Brittany, and this is a little bookish Q&A, hang out, get to know me video. I am 31. It was my birthday yesterday. Woo! Let's be real though, for me it's birthday month because we go to Vegas. It's just the sun is shining and that just feels amazing. Yeah, I don't know, May is just really fun month for me. I live in Alaska with my husband and our 3 dogs. I was born and raised here. I love books. I love to crochet. I love EDM, electronic dance music. So you see some rave stuff on my channel. I love going to shows because I love dancing and I like making my own outfits. Ooh, EDM question, EDM side question. Right now, my favorite artist right now, I still very much am on a Lane 8 Lay Youth kick, but I want to see some Sub Focus and Dimension in Vegas. I want some drum and bass in my life. I started as dubstep headbanging girly, and that is still I'll still throw down to Excision 3x up. I love my iPad. My husband and I joke I'm very much an iPad kid. I like to use Canva a lot to make my own planners and my own digital journaling spreads. So I do a lot of that on my iPad, and it's so fun. I don't use a pen and paper planner anymore. I use my iPad. So those are just some fun little hobbies. I grew up being a reader. I don't know. I read throughout definitely elementary, middle school. I don't recall reading as much in high school. And I feel that's where I kind of got out of touch with it a little bit. And then once I got into nursing school, I'm an ER nurse. That is what I do for my day job. Once I got into nursing school, you're not reading anything for fun. You're just trying to survive. So then I definitely, I barely read for fun in college. I would say when I graduated though, I was able to start picking up hobbies again. I think the first book I picked up 7 years ago was Throne of Glass and A Court of Thorns and Roses. So I had just gotten a brand new phone and it broke. I'm using my phone. I don't know why I'm trying to show you. The phone I had a curved screen and the case did not go up and over it. So it fell off the truck bed right onto the screen and it shattered. So I had to send my phone in to get a new screen, and in the meantime, I didn't have a smartphone. So I went to the library, I got some audiobooks, and just got lost in reading for the first time in years. And this was this had to be 7 or 8 years ago, because we were in our old house. I was still in nursing school, or I might have just finished. It's been a bit since I picked it back up. I read kind of intermittently over the years, and then I picked back up in 2019, 2020, when collectively as a whole, we all suddenly had a lot more time on our hands. So I think the first book I picked up at that point was Skyward by Brandon Sanderson. That's why that book has a sweet spot in my heart. But I started this new book journey with Brandon Sanderson and adult fantasy. Now I'm very much into strange, weird literary fiction. I've come to love historical fiction over the last couple months, actually. What else do I love to read? I mean, it's kind of lame to say I read everything, but I feel I do have a nice eclectic taste in books, and I think throughout the season my book tastes change. I'm adding this question in. Do you have a favorite book format? So audiobook, ebook, or Kindle? And for me, I use all 3 of them interchangeably. It just depends on what story I am consuming and what else is happening in life. I think Kindle books are really easy when you're traveling because you can just load up a bunch and it's on the go. You don't have the actual space that physical books take up. That's a lot for your carry-on, you know what I mean? I love audiobooks. I love audiobooks so much. And I feel they are a great addition to reading physically. Some of my favorite stories have been consumed via audio. I just think it's an extra immersive way, because sometimes you're reading and you're skimming, but when you're listening, I don't know, sometimes the impact can just be more intense for me when I'm listening to something. So I do love audiobooks. If you want some of my favorite audiobook narrators or just favorite audiobooks in general, let me know. I can do a video on that. I also, when I'm thinking about physical books, I like to kind of keep some of my favorites, but then there is something nice about having a tangible copy, something you can hang on to. I think the one disadvantage of Kindle and audio compared to physical is, especially with audio, it's hard to go back and find a part in a book you're looking for. Or same thing with Kindle, you can scroll back and at least you can search within the book, but if I'm looking for a specific part, I don't know, I can just find it really easy. or save that spot and come back to it later. Do you have a certain place for reading? I have a couple spots. It does depend on the time of year. In the summer, which is like the season we're entering, I love to read outside. I love nothing more than no plans, no like interactions with anybody. And then I'm just like laying outside with a book. That is my favorite. Bonus points if we're actually on a beach somewhere tropical, but I will also take my deck in the summertime as a reading spot. I also have like a couch spot upstairs and downstairs to read. And then I don't really read in bed. If I read in bed, it's like for maybe 10 to 30 minutes. It's usually very short-lived because I get sleepy. I'm already cozy, I'm comfy, I'm in bed, I'm probably gonna fall asleep. I always know I'm getting tired because like I'll be like reading and then I start to squint and then I'm usually just reading with one eye until the other one eventually closes and I'm asleep. I don't know if that's because I'm getting tired or if I actually need to start wearing glasses, but I do sometimes read with one eye. I also have a spot behind you. It's where my craft table is, and if I'm listening to books, I like to listen there because I'm like doing something with my hands, so I like to listen to books. Or I'm like driving, cooking, cleaning, I'm doing other chores that I can like multitask with listening to. So I kind of listen in a lot of places, but I mainly listen like around my home space. Definitely when I'm driving. When I'm listening and driving, I get some solid reading time in that way. Do you use a bookmark or a random piece of paper? I use everything as a bookmark. I will dog ear my pages. I will leave books like this on the table. I will put the remote in my book. Did I say dog ear? I'll use bookmarks if I have them on hand, but yeah, I'll use a receipt, a random piece of paper, a sticky note, a pen, a remote. Like I'll use anything as a bookmark. If it has the book covers, like the dust jackets, I'll use these too. I'll be like, that's fine. I'll use anything and everything. Can you just stop reading or do you have to stop after a certain chapter or a certain amount of pages? I prefer to read until like a chapter like stops, or if I can't, I at least find like the next natural page break. Like if I was like working on this page, I would probably just stop here, or yeah, I would try to like, or maybe just like wait till like the next paragraph starts. But I can stop mid-page. It's actually like maybe sometimes nice. So I've heard about this hack when you're watching TV shows. Like you never actually want to finish the episode because they always leave on a cliffhanger. So if you like want to turn your show off, you should actually like turn it off like 10 to 20 minutes before the end, like stop in the middle of an episode. That way you don't have a cliffhanger, you can like stop it and like move on with your life. Otherwise you're like sucked into like watching the show. So sometimes I will just like stop wherever I'm at if I'm tired. Do you eat or drink while reading? Yes. I typically just drink water. I'm one of these girlies. I have a water bottle with me everywhere. So I mainly drink water. If I'm feeling snacky, I like the Indiana movie theater popcorn. It's like so delicious and salty and buttery. For like a store-bought popcorn that's like, you know, already popped, it's so good. It's yummy. I prefer chocolate, like York peppermint patties, like a nice dark chocolate, just like a little bit. Or if I'm feeling like candy, I do like Nerds gummy clusters. Those are good. As far as other beverages, so I have my water. I don't know, in the summertime, I like Pog, passion fruit, orange, guava juice, a nice lemonade. If I drink alcohol, which isn't super often, if I'm like feeling like an adult beverage, I will drink like wine, it's a Moscato d'Asti. It's a dessert wine with ice. I like to drink my alcohol with ice. If there's any like wine people watching, that's probably like a crime, but I just like my stuff cold. So everything has ice. In the winter though, I do like a nice tea. It's just like warm and cozy. Do you listen to music or watch TV while reading? Neither. I can't do them. I can't. I've tried listening to music, even like instrumentals, and it like ends up being really distracting. Like it has to be like really quiet. I can't even like be in the same room as a TV. Even if I'm not watching TV, like if my husband's watching TV and I'm not even like looking at it, like I'm sitting away from the TV, but I can still hear it, I get so distracted. I like to read in complete silence. Complete silence. Do you read one book at a time or several? I have several books at once, most of the time. I like to do this because I like to have a Kindle book, a physical book, and an audiobook all at once. So like right now I have For Audio the library at Mount Char that I'm working on. I'm not gonna lie, I'm very confused. The book is a little confusing, but I'm listening to it. I'm making progress. My Kindle book, I actually just started The Sword of Kaigen last night. And then my physical book is Shark Heart. It's just nice. I have options to like pick stuff up depending on what I'm doing. So like I have some chores I need to do this week, so I'll like make some good listening progress. And then at night it just depends like when we go to bed. If my husband's working days, then I will tend to just use my ebook because then I can have like the lights down. That doesn't bother him. Like there's time, like it's maybe get a nice house. Maybe I won't clean. Maybe I'll read outside instead. And I'll grab my physical book. Do you read at home or everywhere? So this kind of goes back to like listening to like music or TV. I can read in like quieter cafes or coffee shops, or like on an airplane. I can like read or listen in those places. But no, like if there's something loud happening around me, I can't really focus. I get so distracted. I might only get like 10 pages in like an hour because I'm just like constantly looking up and around. Do you read out loud or silently in your head? I read silently in my head. And kind of like the next question is, do you read ahead or skip pages? No. I read silently in my head and I read every single word. I will find myself like skimming or reading fast in like two situations. One of them is when a book is like getting intense and like I just find my like eyes like jumping over because I'm like, holy shit, what's happening? I get excited. Or I will skim pages if I'm not sure I want to keep reading. There's been a few books over the years where I'm like, I'm just not enjoying it. I'm not vibing with it. So I will start to like skim ahead and see like, is this gonna pick up at some point? Is this going to like hook me? I'll even like look up other reviews to see if like the book does get better. But if I'm at that point where I'm skimming a book and I'm like skipping pages, I will just put it down. Do you break the spines or keep them like new? I'm a spine breaker. I crack the shit out of my books. I want a good one. So this is my really ratty copy of The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. And I broke this spine. I broke it so good. I was able to like flip it, and then I had like multiple books in one. You know what I mean? There's like, I found a really nice way to hold it by like breaking it like this. Yeah, I love a nice, let's do this one together. I love a nice like crack spine. Ooh, yeah, that's a good one. I just don't want to read my book like this. Like, people who don't break spines, like, this book's not too bad, but some of the books, like, you can't, like, even open. So you're, like, reading, and then you're, like, reading, because you, like, can't get in there. Like, I want to open my book. Yeah, I like a nice cracked spine. If you're watching this, and I have a book that you have let me borrow, I'm not cracking your spines, or dog-earing, or writing in your pages, I promise. And, like, there won't be, like, popcorn dust all over them. I'm nice to books I borrow. But my own books, my own copies, especially if I find, like, older books, like, I don't mind. Like, I like my lonesome, like, this copy, it's, like, weathered and yellow. This one is really good, too. I like weathered-looking books. Like, this one, I feel like, was dropped in a pool. It had to have been. I like leaving your mark on a book. I think it's fun. But I am nice to books I borrow or rent that are not mine. Do you write in your books? Yes, I do. So I will mainly write in, like, nonfiction, especially, like, the self-help variety. But every once in a while, like, you just find a book or a sentence that you want to underline. Ooh, and you're just like, yeah, that was juicy. I want to keep that one. They distrusted Ina because of her wisdom while they still made use of it. Yeah, I wouldn't say I really annotate books. I don't have any books with like all the tabs. There's a few that I think would be fun to go back and like annotate or reread, but for the most part, I will just like dog ear a page, highlight it as I go, and then kind of move on until I need to like reference it again. These are just some like extra bonus questions because I do read a lot of audiobooks. What headphones do you use? I use the Shocks headphones that go around the ear. And I actually really like them. They're cool. They, like, the sound sits right here, like, outside your ear, and it's a vibration to this little, like, I should know what this part of your body is, but it's a little vibration right here. And so you can still hear your surroundings. And then it's nice because if you have sensitive ears, like, you don't have that earbud, like, pushing on the inside. I found that when we were traveling, I like to put in earplugs on the plane, But so I have the earplug in my ear and then my headphone out here, and I could still hear music. Not so well audiobooks, it was a little muffled, but I could still hear some music with my headphones, which was cool. And my earplugs, it was neat. So I do use those. My preferred audiobook speed is usually like 1.5 to like 1.8. It kind of depends on the voice, and if there's any accents, it does differ. But I do listen fast, and I think that's because I just like talk fast and I'm like hyped up all the time. So like I need to listen fast as well. So that is it, you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, for just like chit-chatting and like talking about more book stuff. It's just the best. Do I have any like horrific reader habits? What horror if I do the most? This? Or the fact that I dog ear my pages. I know like some people take their books very seriously. There's only a couple books that I would, and mainly it's the dust jacket that I want. Like I have some Brandon Sanderson UK editions. Those are like the only ones I really care about, and even then I just like take the dust jacket off. I just want that like nice, the covers to match, but the book can be well loved. So if I have any horrific reader habits, let me know. Otherwise I will see you in the next one.